All systems have been alerted to your presence, sir.
I have a very bad feeling about this.
I hope you know what you're doing.
The Emperor has been expecting you.
What is up, everyone? Welcome to the Monday show. Toy Chest Sarlacc Digest presents episode 18. We're going to talk everything that's going on in the toy world, plus the future of the toy world. What is at stake? What are we doing here? I'm your host, Darth Butcher. I've got Scott Solo here.
What's up, nerds?
Alexander Storm is here.
What's going on?
And Tommy isn't. He's working. So everybody wave to Tommy. I think he's in the chat. So, but Tommy did provide us some news and stuff to go over, and we definitely will do that. But before we get into everything that we need to get into this this Monday show, we have our, if I can find it, where is it? There it is, our Shadow Council to shout out real fast. Of course, everybody here, thank you so much. If anybody is inclined to join our Patreon/Shadow Council, the QR code is in there. Scan that, see what's going on, see what tiers, and see how you could be involved in the Sarlacc Digest in general. Wednesday, you guys will get your proper shout outs, and we will go from there. But Scott,
yes, sir.
We have people being digested because they want to talk toys, and we right now we're trying to not make us feel bad about our bank accounts being drained at this point,
like a vampire.
Wow. But hit the chat up real fast and let's see who's being digested.
You got it. We've got Commander Bly with the power of the first.
Always first. Always.
Always. Hal Runner Base is second. We've then got Rhino Hobbies in there. And let's see. We got Basil G. What's up, Basil? Who else we got? We got Blitz Transmissions. He's in there. We've got William Rodriguez. What's up, William? How's it going, man? And Santo 1414. What is up, Santo?
Nice. Well, as you could see behind Alexander's right shoulder over there, he's got the Dragonfly Haslab, which everybody has. Everybody should be having it now, and if you haven't, they're coming in waves, which is great news for the Ghost because that is on its tail. We've been hearing reports of the Ghost. Hey, it's starting. You guys have you've confirmed your addresses and 1,000 times like we have, and so. I would say by Thanksgiving, the first week of December, you should have the Ghost. And I cannot wait to go to Scott's house and see how big that thing is because I did not get one. Yeah, I did not get one. But as soon as I see it, I'm like, damn it. You know, I mean, at least I'll have the Jazzwares, you know.
Well, you can still go ahead and get one. You'll just pay double the money for it.
Yeah, $1,000. Yeah, no problem.
So there was an image posted online this week, and it was the Ghost. Somebody has the Ghost in hand.
Yeah.
And on top of the Ghost, side by side, you had the E-Wing and the Armorer's Forge, both boxed, sitting on top of that, right?
Wow. Yeah.
So for comparison,
Okay. Oh yeah. Wow.
next to the armor
Yeah.
is Forge.
Oh, yeah.
On top of the Ghost. So that
joke,
thing
man.
is freaking massive,
Do
right?
you? I mean, I know you cleared a spot.
Yes.
But do you realize like how that's gonna be like such the eye go to in your room? Yeah.
That's exactly where I wanted it. And
We'll
in the
have
center
to gut
section,
it, your whole room, and then read.
yeah.
Okay, I'll help you.
Well, in the center section of my toy room, I have got a kind of like a platform that I've built. It's adjustable shelving, but then I built something on top of it that kind of mimics a landing platform, a Star Wars style landing platform.
Okay.
And the day I backed the Ghost and it cleared, I cleaned it all off. I took the Razor Crest was sitting up there for the last couple of years. I took the Razor Crest, put it down a shelf, cleared the top section, and that now is where the Ghost is going to go, and it is going to be front and center. You walk in there, it's going to be like right in the face. You're going to see the Ghost, and it's going to smack you in the head.
Have a hard time not tripping over it.
Yeah,
going into it. So. Which is fun times. But like people in the chat are saying, Rhino Hobby says not complaining, but it's been a heavy toy week. I'm talking Christmas morning heavy. Yeah. It got to the point where I was double checking pre-orders, going like, what is out there? What is still out there? Because not only did I get like, Optimus Prime, Transformer stuff, Joe stuff, and then like getting nervous that more Joe stuff is coming, that was, what was it? The new Snake Eyes wave. That should be hitting soon. Yeah. But vintage.
Which new Snake Eyes wave?
That's
Iron Grenadier.
The
Iron Grenadier wave.
Oh,
good guys from Shadow.
Yeah,
you keep breaking up, Mooch. Are you hearing him out, Alex?
I'm hearing him out. Yeah.
Okay.
It's really windy, so up here it's
Who
knows? So if I break up, I'm sorry.
No, I do not have any pre-orders in GI Joe. I'm like, nope. If I find a GI Joe in store, I'll buy it. I'm not pre-ordering that because Hasbro's doing a thing again this year where it's like, we have pre-orders. These pre-orders are scheduled to hit in January and February, but guess what? It's November. Merry Christmas. And I'm like, oh God.
Yeah.
And it rolled in, a couple things rolled in. And I'm like, Julie, here again this year, put it under the Christmas tree. I don't know which box this is, so go for it.
Yeah, I did the same thing, Scott. I noticed that there was a couple of things that really kind of jumped out, and one of them was the Transformers Knight Rider, and that just popped in, and I was like, I wasn't even expecting it. I was like, well, wait a minute, this is at least 4 weeks too early.
Yeah.
And I got some other Marvel Legends that popped in. The Dragonfly, thank God I paid for that a year ago.
Yeah.
And the Iron Grenadier wave, I'll be honest with you, I had that pre-order through Amazon. I ended up canceling it because I know there's like 3 or 4 other pre-orders that just are jumping up early. I was like, what? Yeah. I'll do the same thing. I'll wait till they get to stores. If they don't get to stores, oh well, I'll find them at a toy show.
Big Bad has them right now too, available.
It's no big deal.
Yeah.
I did the I really wanted to get that vintage style Optimus Prime with all that added articulation and all that. And I had them on pre-order and I'm like, nah, the way they're pulling this shit, I dropped it. I canceled the pre-order. I'm like, no, I'm if I find them, I'll buy them if I can.
Yeah, I mean, like, if they're hitting the stores, and that's great. If they're hitting, I'm okay if they're hitting the stores. Faster than the pre-orders are hitting, because that's honestly how it should be. Kinda. I mean,
and plus, if a whole wave drops, you can, and they hit multiple stores. You can pick one up here, wait a couple weeks, then pick up another one. You don't have to do the whole thing all at once. It's ridiculous.
Of course. We got Meeks checking in. What is up?
My man Meeks.
Basil G, losing my mind, forgetting what I pre-ordered from what vendor stuff is pouring. Trying to keep a spreadsheet. That's why I try to only do Pulse, because I'm mainly a Hasbro collector. Besides the couple Mattel things that I buy here and there, I try to keep all my pre-orders in that one spot. And if I miss it there, it's on Big Bad, and Big Bad has their pile of loot, which I'm continuously adding to,
Speaking of Mattel, did you? Oh, sorry. Go ahead with Hellrunner. Really?
Oh
quick.
yeah, geez. Thankfully I didn't pre-order the E-Wing and Forge set. Disney had a fire sale. Awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
You got that on fire sale, Scott?
No.
No, that's the whole thing. I don't
I
ever on
didn't.
sale ever because I don't. Yeah, Mattel. Woo! I know.
Mattel, yeah, they got into some
Mattel.
trouble this week.
I mean,
Mattel got into some trouble. Yeah.
The whole Wicked, the Oz of Broadway show has already been in under this whole it's a bunch of stuff coming on. But so was this more of a sabotage or what? Because and trust me, guys, we're gonna talk Star Wars, but this, under the toy umbrella, we present it, and then maybe Alex over at the Shadow Knows will elaborate more on it. But geez, don't go to wicked.com.
Well, maybe,
or
not for
go
those reasons.
What site you're going to?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm a graphic designer. I'm a professional graphic designer, and there are certain things that you check before you put that stuff on the package design. And that's my first job as a graphic designer straight out of college. I was replacing somebody who made this same mistake at the casino I went to work for. Did the same thing. There was just a couple digits off on a hyperlink, and people were scanning the typing in the hyperlink, and they were going to a place they shouldn't have been going. Lost his job immediately. So there might be somebody out there looking for a job right now.
I know there's somebody looking for a job. Somebody down the totem pole. Won't be at the upper part of the totem pole. Down the totem pole is getting fired.
Nobody from the top. I wonder, back in the day when we all used to collect, we used to be kind of mindful about misprints and stuff like that, like a value of something. Do you think this is going to be in one of those areas where it's like this one will lead you to this site before they fixed it? Because I didn't hear if Mattel is pulling back, if they're recalling anything, or
it was officially recalled at Target today. So at Target today, they went and pulled everything off the shelves, and I verified. I did go over to Target and I looked, and it's all gone. Yesterday, I was at Target and they were all there, and I double checked. I took a photo of it, and I'm like, it absolutely has the wrong web address on there.
Should have bought one just to put in the closet for a couple years and see.
Yeah, but at the same time, it kind of depends on the quantity they sent out originally, right? Because sometimes those misprints are the commons, and the corrections are the ones that actually end up being more rare.
I have a Darth Vader statue that I bought, but it says DATH Vader instead of, and so I figure this is a long time ago. Right? I go, I have a rare.
That's the Boston version.
Darth Vader.
Vader.
I figure I had a rare one. Turns out everybody has the same one. I don't think they even bother to fix it.
It's like Luke Skywalker, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Did the Black Series, Luke Skywalker, and then they fixed him, and neither one of them is worth a damn. But
exactly. You'll be a billionaire. Why be a billionaire when you could be a millionaire? Well, you guys brought up something about finding stuff in the stores and buying as a set. Well, the Black Series Skeleton Crew toys dropped today. All 6 of them. 6, the cast, the whole, let me pull up the thing real fast. Where is my Black Series? Is it this one?
That's it. I updated it for you just a couple hours ago.
Thank you, sir. Well, all the Skeleton Crew ones, again, are available, but they're not available for pre-order. They're available for purchase as of today.
Seriously?
There's no pre-orders. That's why I was like, sometimes, guys, those pre-orders give you that safeguard, that safety net of I'm future spending money that I can. So what, it's like, it's almost bittersweet. These are available now for you to buy, and you'll get, I'm sure they're going to start hitting stores. And we've been talking about this, about having a show and toys on the shelf, especially this type of show where this kid, it's more kid friendly, family friendly. It's great that they're doing this, right?
Yes.
But it's also another $150 if we decide to go ahead and buy the whole wave, right now, instead of putting it off for a couple months,
And if you pull up that list one more time real quick, we also not that one, the other one. Yeah, there we go.
I got it.
We've got Andor and K2 and what's her name from Andor? The
Idra?
the Imperial. Daedra. We've got those, and we have a release date now for Andor in April. So,
Yes.
I mean, again, we've got 2 shows coming
Yes.
with figures that are already out. That's
I think it's a great
unheard
sign.
of.
I
Yeah.
think it's a great sign. It makes sense to get people excited for the show, especially kids like we were, to have the figure in hand as you're watching the show unfold. You know, but yeah, and I got all those Andor figures too, by the way, and they're great figures.
I think that's a double-edged sword for Andor, especially since it's April. Like,
Yeah.
there's a good chance that people now we all know that there's probably going to be some version of it re-released by that point because they like to double dip like that.
Absolutely, yeah.
But if they don't do that, then you've got people that now the show is out, they're looking for the figures, but now the figures have gotten to be on the secondary market,
Gotcha.
and
Yeah. So it's
kinda priced out of their budget.
I understand that. Yeah.
At the same time, I mean, K2 has been released before, so it's not a different K2, and both both Daedra and Cassian, they're both from season 1 too, so it still kind of works, right? There's no real change in the character's look, I don't think.
I believe that Andor is from season 2.
Yeah,
Is
he
he
looked
totally?
I believe so.
first Andor I saw, or at least his colors look a tad bit different.
Yeah, he's got his hair's different. It's a little longer hair
But
on
still,
the figure.
is you're still taking a chance on.
Yeah, I
like,
understand what you're
chances
saying.
are they will double dip something. I'm sure he'll be in some other
A
outfit,
2-pack
or
yeah.
and they'll just end up bringing it. But that's the point with April. That's a long time to drop an Endor right now.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
Hell Runner's asking for somebody to spot him as Pulse.
Yeah. Hey, we'll talk.
Save you $7, huh?
Damn right.
But then we gotta ship it to him. So
I know,
we'll
right?
put up that GoFundMe account at the end of the show for you, sir. No, we got you.
We still have to ship unless you're in SoCal or Basil. So he pre-ordered Brutus from Entertainment Earth last week. Now, I saw this on Yak Face as a report from Brutus's pre-orders to Saboba's pre-orders. Now, Saboba came mentioned a couple weeks ago, and we put it out here, and we always like praised it, like, oh my god, they're going to bring us these fill-in characters that we don't have, right? So he said that it was lopsided. People are pre-ordering that Brutus figure more than a figure like Saboba,
Really?
Yeah, and that really kind of got me concerned about things like, damn. I mean, I understand, like, people are going to buy Bruce because he's an alien, but again, Saboba, we've been asking for Saboba, I think I've heard it, maybe not in the quantities, like I said, like with Tommy. I don't know if Tommy would run out and buy Saboba versus somebody newer in the thing, because again, episode 1 prequel figures, Shakti sold out, but again, according to Yakface, it was a lopsided pre-order, like big time. And that tells me that Hasbro is going to be scared again of producing more aliens and droids that we want to fill in those gaps, versus, this guy, which he looks amazing. He looks
really does
amazing. Yeah.
I will tell you this, that if I had to go into my toy stock market kind of like thinking, I would buy 2 Sabobas, because somehow I have a feeling that down the line, even though it's lopsided, that character will definitely be one that people will ask for, like, a month or a year down the line later after it's come out. Because somehow, whenever someone misses those items, it's lopsided that way. One of the characters in a way overwhelmingly does well.
Yeah.
People kind of have that, like, or wait for something like Big Bad Toy Store or something else, because I've seen the Doc Alpha that's up on Big Bad Toy Store that's like $6 now. So either it's gonna drive that demand up for the character, or you're gonna be able to get him at an unreasonably great price.
Yeah,
4 months later.
We brought that kind of thing up too, about finding things at Ross or Ollie's, right? Like how much of it is on Hasbro's radar of these don't sell, now they're clearancing them out, versus them producing it in the future of concentrating on like Saboba. Even like Blitz is saying in the chat, it's like he's a C-rated character. Yeah, he's low on a totem pole when it comes to like priority main characters. But also, we grew up having figures all background characters, especially like Vintage Collection and Power of the Force 2. We had background characters like crazy. So I think some of our mentality of us older heads, like Tommy likes to say, is that we thought a Black Series collection would be in that same vein of filling those guys out too. Don't Google that. So filling up the background characters also, meaning, oh, they're going to do them all. They're going to do the snail slug thing in the canteen. They're going to do that one too, and I think we anticipate that a lot, right? So when I hear news of like, oh, so Boba is not flying off the shelves, or it's not as in demand as like newer characters or whatever, it concerns me as an older collector, and worried that, oh, maybe they're going to back away again, because they backed away a long time, and now they go, here's this and that. Oh, it's not selling as good. Again, business is business, right?
Well, Saboba's cool though. I mean, he's no Ben Quadraneros, but he's
I'd buy him too. Yeah. I do believe though, honestly, I will say this though, and you guys know this, and I think you both share this sentiment, is that the smaller, especially those Skeleton Crew figures that are coming out, smaller figures, they're still $24.99.
Yeah, exactly.
And look how easily it is for them to say deluxe and then tack on $5 on the item just when you're getting an extra weapon or a character that's just a tad taller, right? Why isn't that difference on smaller figures? Because of those 6 figures, 4 of them are tiny. They take up half the plastic, and they're still $24.99. And I think that's just Hasbro saying, hey, it's a figure's a figure, a character's a character. But of course, they're really quick to be like, well, here's Cobb Vanth, but because of the paint apps, he's a deluxe figure, and he comes with an extra backpack or a gun, and it doesn't seem to, we're all wise to it, and
that's more our fault as
but we have choice
backlash. We have a backlash behind it. You're still buying that $24.95 figure. He's still sitting somewhere on the shelf.
Yeah,
and
of course.
If you want to tell them that, hey, it should be $15.99, then don't buy the character. And what they'll end up doing, and also in the same way, don't purchase it. Write in, do campaigns, let these people know, like, hey, man, a character that's like almost 3.5 inches and not 6, shouldn't be costing me $24.95.
Well, hopefully shows like this, and the more we put it out there like that, and we see kind of feedback, and we're telling them, look, yes, of course, and maybe it's bad to say this, but we're never going to get a Saboba again. So if I want a Saboba, that $25 is coming out, and I'm buying them. You know what I mean? But I think it would go a lot longer ways with the community if it was a $22.99, like $2 figure, or a Saboba, a 2-pack comes with a pit droid, or something like that, to kind of like
the add-on
to make really quick to make a deluxe character, figure really quick, and throwing a $29, $34, $40 price tag on it, when I honestly don't feel the value of it, right? And so we know where their base model is Anakin Skywalker comes with a backpack. That's their base model of a $25 figure.
Yeah,
but
a backpack that doesn't even open. It's not. It's a solid piece of plastic that wraps around his shoulders. It's not worth it.
Like, there should be more things that comes with, and like accessories stuff. But so again, that's where they got us too. They have us, kind of in the corner with that, because they're like, well, you're not going to get another one, so shut up. That's basically what they're telling us. I mean. So Chet Maddox is checking in, of course.
What's up,
Chet? We've got Stu John Jedi. Brutus is available on Pulse now. All Skeleton Crew stuff is available now, and I guarantee you'll start seeing him in the stores. Bliss Transmission also was commenting, saying that these figures might have been available now because the shows were pushed back. Well, I don't know, because we didn't have we didn't have any leaks of the Skeleton Crew figures. We'd had like announcements, and then they're here. You know what I mean? There was, besides Brutus, but that was, again, Brutus was with Savage Press, but I mean, it didn't seem like we had a lot of word, a long time of sitting on the fence on them. So
when was the Skeleton Crew originally supposed to drop? Because I don't remember. I don't remember hearing about it being pushed back.
I have no clue.
In post-production for a long time, but I don't remember hearing about it being pushed back.
The only one that we knew that had a time frame kind of pushback was the Acolyte. Like and it was due to COVID, right? So We
Right.
don't know.
And Andor. I think Andor was pushed back
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, like Tommy, we try to give Hasbro the benefit of the doubt of like putting figures in people's hands when a show drops. But yeah, the latter is probably what you just said. It's like, oh no, the show's just caught up to the figures at this point, So I mean, yeah.
Hellrunner says right now, last December. So
it's supposed to be last December.
Skeleton Crew is delayed a year. Wow.
Wow.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's why the figures are out then. Tommy was right.
Yeah, I mean, think about that. Though, if they didn't delay it, I mean, we'd have nothing this whole year besides Ahsoka at the beginning, right?
Oh, we would have something. They would find a way to figure out.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Tune in on Wednesdays. We have so much to go over. Like, I'm not happy about it. But anyway, we'll that's for a Wednesday show. But anyway, yeah. I mean, I guess we always have to live into what's going on now, to see these figures out now it's cool. And like I said, the lack of the pre-order is a little refreshing on brand new content. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So who knows? I'll take your word, Tommy. Honestly, I will take your word on that. Scott, Tommy had sent us over some rumors and some news. Do you have that up?
I don't, but give me 2 seconds and I will.
Okay.
Because that's how I roll.
Well, one of them is, guys, that in Andor, we are getting another shot at the Range Trooper. So the Range Trooper for Black Series is coming back out with the Andor packaging. I think it's got some battle damage. So, but what makes me more excited with that, because I'm not going to buy another one. I already have 2 of them. Is the fact that Range Troopers will be in Andor season 2. That's what I take out. Yeah, because I like the Range Troopers. So that means they're going to be in snow or in the in the range.
It's somewhere in the range. So real quick, we've got Tommy sent us some updates. Thank you, Tommy. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Black Series Gift the Galaxy. And this is something that I've seen. I think it's specifically Amazon that I've seen.
I think it's Walmart, Target. I think it's like an exclusive holiday thing that the Star Wars and the exclusives are going to be doing.
It is. I saw a graphic though that was designed specifically for Amazon for it so far. So yeah, Gift the Galaxy will be featuring 6 to 8 Black Series reveals.
Yeah. Well, I'm in, Commander Bly. I'm in then. Damn it, they got me another one.
One of these is likely.
Yeah, I know. What am I saying?
One of these is likely a lightsaber. So a Black Series lightsaber, as well as a helmet, a Black Series helmet, which I know that we just recently, I didn't grab the graphic for this particular episode, but we do have Commander Gree coming, a re-release of Commander Gree in Black Series and his helmet as well. So we're going to get the Black Series Commander Gree helmet.
So Gree is the Black Series figure too, that clone commander that they was rumored to be? Okay.
Yeah. So we've got that coming. We've also, a leaked Anakin Skywalker head sculpt, which he sent an image of that, which looks pretty good. It looks like a Revenge of the Sith Anakin Skywalker. So a redone Anakin. That looks
an anniversary. So we're going to see a heavy Revenge of the Sith product hitting. Yeah.
Yeah. We've also got, like you said, the Black Series Andor Range Trooper figure, which is cool. I can't wait to see that. Do you think they'll just re-release the original that they put out?
Well, who said it? Commander Bly said that it comes with a rocket launcher this time.
Okay.
And I did see battle damage on the front of the chest plate of the range, because Jack Face had a picture of it, and
very cool.
Oh yeah, I'll be buying it.
More Revenge of the Sith 20th anniversary, which I cannot believe that Revenge of the Sith is 20 years old. That is, I know, right? Insane. 20th retro packed figures are coming, similar to Commander Cody. We've got the 501st Clone Trooper, which is great.
Yeah.
Why not? Kit Fisto, that's thought to be completely the same as the previous release, which is also probably the same for the 501st Clone Trooper. Count Dooku is being re-released, which is cool. that figure, they did an incredible
Oh,
job on.
it's great.
So,
I don't know what they're gonna do besides unless his hands come off and his head comes off.
that'd be awesome.
You know what I mean?
Right,
Yeah.
it's magnetic. You open it up and the head falls off. Damn it! Not again.
Yeah,
Hasbro.
that was my Django 2002 experience.
Yeah. And then a new R2D2. They're probably just going to take the latest version of him, stick him on the new card back.
Depends.
But give him the rockets.
Okay, rockets I will buy. If it's something else, no. I'm at that point where it's got to be something that makes sense. A newer costume change or a new character in general. I'm unless it's a sculpt that needed it. No, but I think they're pretty caught up on the older sculpts to new. So.
Well, don't they have the one that's supposed to come with the hibachi grill attachment right there?
A
Degabon is clicking,
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure they'll keep finding ways to R2D2.
Oh, they will. I mean, look at the Grogu's. This Grogu's waving. Yeah.
But I mean, it would make sense for Revenge of the Sith to have the rockets on his, and they could even give him a stand, kind of like they did with Chopper with the fire coming out.
That would be cool.
Fire with little melted parts or something like
I'd
that.
buy it. Like I said, I would, if it's something that makes sense, meaning like this is the episode 3 R2 that has the, that set the battle droids on fire. Yeah, no problem. But if it's another Dagobah, we already have one that just came out that's dirtied and all that stuff, and if he just comes with like Luke's saber this time, no, it's like these are the things I'm going to start really picking and choosing. You know what I mean?
Also, a Black Series new clone trooper is coming from Revenge of the Sith. It's going to be a new trooper, not 501st. So I'm curious to see what that would be. I don't think we've gotten individual packs. I don't remember. Please forgive me. I don't remember all the different units, what their numbers are. Like the 501st, but I couldn't. I would be shocked if we didn't get one with the orange highlights from Obi-Wan's squad. Getting Commander Cody, it would make sense we got get a couple of his troopers as well.
Sure,
because the 501st trooper has been released a couple times now, so that's nothing new. There are also 3 additional Black Series Revenge of the Sith figures coming. No idea what those are going to be.
I mean, let's get some separatist leaders in here. Like, be great. You know what I mean?
A Padme would be nice,
or a Padme. Yeah. Like there's some opportunity there.
Also, it looks like we've got. I'm looking at the photos now of the because he did send those photos. Damn it, we're gonna be poor. And also, I mean,
worst
Micro Galaxy Squadron. We've got the Phantom 2 that is already out on shelves. Believe it or not, those things we don't get warning. They just kind of show up.
They do. They do.
Yeah, drop immediately. Pregnant Padme, where she looks like she's 3 months pregnant, but is actually 9 months pregnant with twins.
Yeah. I want the pregnant Padme with the poor snippet on the bed on her funeral brigade. Lying there, and so I can.
That's dark.
That's
right. Really dark, man.
You're taking that too far, man.
Thanks, Rick Jones. Yes, I did. I took it there. I do want to highlight this right here, Commander Blythe.
Yeah.
Please, Hasbro, stop lumping cosplay items under the Black Series label. Yes, hands down. And okay, Hasbro, I know you got a representative listening because you have a Lucasfilm representative listening to our Wednesday show. So it makes sense that they would be here too. I think now let me clarify after this statement is that I think you need to rebrand the 6-inch figures, take the Black Series label off of it because Black Series was supposed to be like the highly articulated elite because even 3 3/4 had a Black Series line that associated with this with like a more expensive, highly articulated. Take it off, rebrand the 6-inch line to something else. But the caveat is you don't have to redo everything. Just pick it up. And I'm not saying that you have to redo the packaging other than the Black Series logo. Mm-hmm. But to me, when people say, because a lot of people have that confusion of like, there was 2 Black Series Haslabs that failed. I'm like, you got to be, there was one cosplay that failed and one Haslab failed. And so so that's what I'm saying. Separate the 2, but I believe in a rebranding of the Black Series line, meaning the concept of it. because I think you got away from that whole Black Series concept anyway, because now that's just the line of that 6-inch figures. It wasn't really, I think it's outgrown that, you know what I mean? Because there was supposed to be like an elite kind of class of figures where these now are just 6-inch figures because they're in line with everything other Hasbro lines that they do and stuff. So
you're not wrong. And, they do a great job with the anniversary figures, by branding them like they were vintage, right? We Had a New Hope and Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi. Well, we're getting it with Revenge of the Sith. I don't see why they couldn't keep up on that trajectory, do that type of packaging again. Those are cool. And, Star Wars classics or something.
Just something that they pick up the line where it is, but it's a new rebranding, and therefore you can get other people excited about a thing going up. And again, we've always said, you guys, you have to have the legends in everybody's hands too. You always Darth Vaders and stormtroopers and stuff, and if repackaging to get older figures back in the mix, cool. But at this point, 10 years in, I think it's time, because again, I don't know if it's that important anymore to have that Black Series title under it. There's 6-inch and whatever. I forgot about this, and shame on me, but happy Veterans Day today to all the fellow veterans that I will know, have known, that will come into my life and have come into my life. Thank you very much, Commander Blythe. Thank you for reminding me on that. I meant to open the show with that, so I got it in now. Yeah. So I mean, that again, that's my 2 cents into the branding of Star, the 6-inch line. Like, separate the cosplay, stop calling it Black Series, because it is confusing. Because in those live streams that we have, they're like, and Black Series, we have a saber, we have a helmet, here's a figure. It's like, well, you let us down, because we were expecting like
you could actually brand it cosplay series, Star Wars cosplay series. You could lean into that. I mean, you've got a whole aspect of people out there that's their bread and butter, right? They do cosplay and getting these high quality helmets and stuff like that, which some of them I know would argue that they're not quality. They're not the right quality for cosplay. Right. But if you steer them away from Black Series, take it towards cosplay and put that little bit of extra effort into it, people might actually be willing to pay a little bit more for something that's a high quality.
I agree. Especially like, and I know people have different opinions, but especially if the 501st says, hey, you can use this, maybe with some alterations, but you can use this. You watch how those fly off the shelf. Because if you go, hey, look, I've got the Stormtrooper helmet, and all I got to do is change the lens and add this, whatever, and it could be 501st approved. It's that close. That's important to a lot of people. Maybe not to Hasbro, but it's important to a lot of people to have that, where it's not off the shelf ready. And again, 501st is not the end all be all. There is other cosplay companies out there, or troops or tropes, whatever. That you could just be a Stormtrooper, right? But
that was a highly intelligent thought, and that's why Mr. Solo's not in the toy community, because it is so. Because that whole
makes too much sense.
That whole rebranding would open up a brand new door and a brand new revenue stream for them, and it's something that's simplistic. And I hope literally that someone at Hasbro is taking notes, because that would really rebrand that line. And I think things like Reva's Lifesaver that didn't go through would have, because it would have been branded under something. That I think that cosplayers are not looking at some of the releases in the toy line, and you could actually have done a portion of your show, whether it was the Pulse or whatever, the 1027 that they did, that would have had a cosplay part in it. And I think that you would be able to push more items out that way. I think there's a very intelligent thought, man.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Sometimes it just makes too much sense. You know what I mean? and
I mean, the sabers are incredible. The Black Series lightsabers are fantastic. Above and beyond the stuff you get at Disney, right? They truly are great. But the helmets, I mean, to Hal Runner's point, he says he wouldn't want to pay more. The line is perfect as is. If you took the electronics out of it, made the build better, more comfortable, put a little bit more comfort into it. Keep it the same price, and you've got something there. Because I don't know anybody that puts those helmets on and turns the electronics on.
Well, I know.
I mean,
do you?
Do you?
I've known a couple people that's done it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, the Boba Fett one's great because you just hit the little thing, the scope pops down. There's electronics in there that lights up. That's great. But the Stormtrooper voice is
the majority, 90% I think that we use them as props. You know what I mean? Like everything that we do, like even the sabers that I get from Galaxy, or the one saber I got from Galaxy, it's a prop. It's not like I took the batteries out of it. I don't even put battery because I don't want it to corrode. You know what I mean? So but there's that option for people who do want to wear them and stuff, you know. I mean, I think they're good for what they are, but again, I think the rebranding on the whole Black Series needs to change in a bit. And again, that gives you a breath of fresh air when it comes to 6-inch figures, and maybe a new attitude on how if it's a new distribution attitude moving forward or whatever it is, you can start over from there, and you're showing. I mean, how many times did the 3 3/4 start over? How many different Legacy, the Saga, Power of the Force, Vintage Collection, you know,
Power of the Jedi,
so why not another, you know, but all right, guys, I do want to get into a little bit of a controversial subject, okay? And I do want to I'm going to put a disclaimer out there. Anybody in the chat, anybody who's listening to this is not anything political. I'm just talking an open discussion, a healthy discussion on the current state of business and economics moving forward to the next 4 years of what's, you know, is transpiring in America right now. It could directly affect us as collectors. Again, first world problems, right? You know, this is going to be something again. And I'm just getting opinions on if this were to go forward with the tariffs and stuff, right? If they start adding tariffs, especially China tariff, right? Where all of this is from China, all of it. There's no doubt about that. So, are we willing to pay a lot more for our figures? And we're already, you know, again, we're already complaining about the cost of figures and everything else. Are we willing to continue the trend of that? Or is that I mean, it could be an obvious, you know, it's a dead in the water kind of issue. How is this going to affect our hobby? You know what I mean? I don't think I don't think manufacturing in this capacity is going to come back to America the way that that program room is, you know, if it goes through. Again, I'm not being political. I'm not saying anything pro or con again for it. I'm just saying like the actual impact that's going to have on our first world problem hobby. You know, these companies are not going to manufacture them here. They're just not going to do it. And if they are, it's going to take 5 years for them to build the facilities and do that. And that time we might be done on that aspect of it, you know? So what's your guys' opinions? I mean, if these go up any more than they're going up, 20%, 30%. So you're looking at $29, $35 for a basic figure, you know, because again, no matter what the outcome is, the cost is always going to come back to the consumer. Yeah. These businesses are not, I mean, business is business. They're not going to eat anything. They're not going to say, oh, well, it just costs us more. It's going to come to the consumer.
They've got shareholders. They've got shareholders that they have to satisfy as well.
This isn't an art form anymore. It's
Yeah. No, I'd probably, if the prices go up significantly, then I'd probably drop the Black Series altogether. I mean,
sure.
Without a doubt.
Well, Vintage Collection is right next. It's right behind it. It's like $2-3 less. Like
it's stupid priced right now. $16.99 for a Vintage Collection figure, basic Vintage Collection figure is an insult, right? Luckily, Target has a tendency to put them on sale quite a bit. Which is great. It's been saving my bacon a lot, you know, with these, with their price, with their sales.
Right.
But I don't get the value out of Blacks because, you know, the majority of my collection is 3 3/4 inch. So it makes sense for me to continue. Yeah. Exactly. And the world building aspect that we've talked about several times here. Yes, Stu John, the Vintage Collection is too expensive. However, if all of my collection is in that scale,
Yeah.
90% of it's in that scale, I'm going to stick with that scale.
Yeah.
And I might even back off of some of the other things, like maybe I won't buy one of every figure. Maybe I won't buy the gaming greats, or I won't buy the
maybe
the
a pick and
Acolyte figures.
choose.
Maybe more of a pick and choose, and make sure that I get the ones I really want as well. So yeah.
I feel you on that. Look, I'll be quite honest with you. As we were in the prep, I started thinking about this subject because I knew we were bringing it up. One, I don't think Hasbro and Mattel is going to be bothered by this, because it's been known to the fact that it won't affect billion-dollar companies. They'll figure out a way around it. It won't do that.
Okay.
My problem isn't for them, because I know there's slick ways for billionaires to succeed on this. It's going to come down to, like, is Big Bad Toy Store workshop, where you have, like, the monster stuff out. All the other smaller boutiques. Now, I think that if there is some form of a tariff or something that's put on, it's going to affect them. It's not going to affect the top of the guys at the top of the chain. It's going to affect the little guys.
Yeah.
Is Monster Force made in China, or is it Taiwan? I'll go grab my figure and I'll double check.
I'm sure it makes a difference. Whoever's outside of the country.
I'll say this. Yeah, I'll say this. Again, Propose is 20% across the board.
Mm-hmm.
China's is a different animal. Like they get it starts at 20, and that might be a full thing. Again, that's what it is. I'm just saying, like, even 20% more, that's $4 more a figure. So you're at $29.99. Rough $28.99. They'll just round it up to $29.99. And how Rhino Hobbies said, we went from 19 to 25, 24.
Heck of a jump.
No, that wasn't because of the previous. I'm just saying, like, and that was a thing that we accepted that because none of us dropped buying toys. We actually bought more. I got into other lines.
What's the line from Solo? It's I understand it, I don't like it, but I accept it.
Yeah. But now looking at, like, a figure, and saying this is a $30 figure, and again, I'm just trying to get the pulse of the community itself, and how, again, this is a hobby of ours, and it's a real possibility that this can happen. And I just want to know, is that the death of collecting moving forward, or is, like, a couple people in chat saying, look, it's not that bad, or what Alexander is saying, like, bigger companies, they'll find ways around it where we won't, because they'll risk a lose of closing down. They don't want to do that. I get that. And so maybe, but I also understand that Hasbro, and like I said, the reason I brought up the little figures to the deluxe is that they do not spare a dime on their dime. They will always add that to the consumer no matter what. And they've proved that in those little ways. So something like this, is that going to affect it? Because are they going to turn around and say, hey, what's $30 a figure? Okay, it's $6 more a figure, whatever.
Well, like Scott said, they've got to please their shareholders, so it's going to go up. If they do it, it's going to definitely. And besides, anyways, even if there's no tariff or anything else, they'll just go up somewhere down the line. We know it's going to happen.
100%. Yeah,
I think you pick and choose. I definitely know that over this last year, like, McFarlane really was cut out. There was a certain point where I said, if I'm going to keep some Black Series, I'm going to keep some Marvel Legends and everything. I'm probably sure if it went up to, like, let's say, 28, 29 or something, then I would probably cut out a little bit more Marvel Legends. I'm very big in the Black Series and in the Joes. And then, like I've been doing lately, like I just told Scott about the Iron Grenadier Wave, it's like, I'll get those down the line. If I don't get it, it's not going to kill myself. I'll start picking and choosing which characters I want, and it may decrease the collection.
See, here's where I'm at too, right? If the price goes up and up and up, still, I might drop classified altogether. But I'm the goofball who will pay a little bit more to continue the 3 3/4 inch with the O-ring figures, right?
And that's what I'm asking.
Those I will absolutely pick and choose from, because I'm not going to buy figures that have been already done from Hasbro years ago, right? I'm not going to do that. It's the adult collectors, those of us that are, I'd say 42 to 50 something, are the ones who are the majority of the purchasers of this product, right? if you're looking at getting kids back into the line, having adults buy these things for kids, raising the prices this high is not the way to do it, right? And Hasbro released, I want to say, I saw in Yak Face that they're doing mashups again. The old mashup figures.
The mashups are coming back. Yeah.
They can disassemble figures and reassemble different figures, right? Aimed at kids, right? So is that the future? Is that how we're going to get kids back into these lines that already exist by introducing them through these?
Yeah.
It's
the goofier lines.
It's going to be interesting to see what those are priced at, right?
Yeah.
Because kids can't afford a $30 Black Series figure.
Well, I mean, in some cases, it's cheaper to give a kid a phone and say, "Have at it, play these games, I'm not buying you figures." You know, but again, like I said, you know, like people in chat, you know, you could start picking and choosing. I to me personally, I don't think I'll stop, but there will be lines where I just like, okay, I'm not doing these lines anymore, and now I'm going to be very pick and choose of what Star Wars Black Series I have from now on. You know?
Here's what I've been doing, not to cut you off, Scott. Here's what I've been doing lately. And one of the things that I think it would probably force back into, I noticed with the price of coming up, now when I'm at toy shows or something, I start looking at way more vintage stuff.
Yes.
Original Joes from the 80s. And because those prices are set for what they are. And usually, like I've been picking up some classic Joe vehicles and everything at prices that I would have not gotten them at 5 years ago. So I think it's going to force people to go back and start looking. I
thought about that too, Alex.
Stuff and more going into these, you know, to the Goodwill.
Welcome to my world.
Yeah, I thought about that too. Like, okay, maybe I'll just continue like the actual like instead of Masters of the Universe Origins, I'll go get the Masters of the Universe from the 80s and stuff. You know, like I said, I've got the details for it. Yeah.
If I may, a couple of Stu John's posts real quick. This one right here. This is something I mentioned last time. They should package Fortnite skins or some kind of a digital aspect with the action figures, right? You purchase the
that would get kids into it.
Get that skin for a game, right? That's exactly what I mentioned last week or last time, and I think that's a great idea. That's a fantastic idea. Whatever you buy in store, you get there. Yeah. Secondly, his other comment here, I'm not entirely sure. I don't know the economics behind Ollie's and Ross and all these stores, but my understanding is they are picking up the when Hasbro sells to Target or Hasbro sells to Walmart, that product is sold. Hasbro has their money; it's in their pockets. That's it. What Ollie's and Ross and Marshalls and all those other stores do is they purchase those from Target at a clearance rate, then and then price them up. So Hasbro's already got their money. It doesn't matter that people are buying it at Ollie's, Ross, Target, Walmart.
It's aftermarket at this point. Yeah.
Aftermarket. Exactly. It's basically a secondhand seller that is selling it extremely.
They're getting it. Yeah. 100%. You know, there were some instances that product would be shipped back to the manufacturer.
Yeah.
Back in the Toys R Us days, I believe that if they flood it and then they would ship it. I think there was some, I don't know if all of the companies did that, but I think there was some sort of like they would ship these back to them and then they would have these warehouses like Hasbro or Mattel has those warehouses, those discounted warehouses out here. And those would be flooded with those products of like
Landos.
Here's what you can do for the restructuring and again is we talked about this over on our channel about how it was such a shame around Christmas time. You couldn't
always is,
till after. But what you need to do, and this is one of the things, is that with every restructuring, there's only so much that you can do. Once you start laying off, the only way that the industry is going to change is some of these fat cats at the top are going to have to start losing their jobs because there's multi-million people on the top. And after a while, when you have to lay off, and there's a level where you can't do it anymore, they're going to start looking at the high-end executives. And once that starts happening, then you're going to have it trickle down, and it's going to change because you got cats sitting on Hasbro's board and Mattel's board that's making more than the 150 employees combined that you just let go.
Well, dude, like the exec at the top is not going to say, well, we'll just eat this cost and the consumers will be happy. No, they'll say, consumers will pay $26.99 now a figure. And you know, sometime and us, we're just like, okay, this is what we love to do. We don't go out and do other things and whatever. we're going to eat that cost too. And like I said, this is not a political comment. This is not it's more of an economics about our hobby. And the fact is that we're going to be paying more if anything goes through, because again, it's whatever side the reasons for it political wise, but it's the like Alex just said, it's that execs, they're not going to lose a dime, and they're okay with laying off people to get that bottom line. They're okay passing it on to the consumers and stuff. And like I said, art cease to exist in the toy world. When
ask yourself, when was the last time you heard an executive say, "Hey, take $1 million off"?
Oh, right, yeah.
It's like you haven't heard that, but I guarantee you, when you can't get rid of the little guy anymore, you're gonna have to start looking upstairs. And then there's some of those guys in higher management are gonna start. And then don't worry, oh, you need this quarter. Well, that guy Joe made 12.3 million this year. Let's take that out. Because the shareholders are gonna get their money regardless.
Hell Runner. Okay, man. Hear me out. All the more reasons that we need to spot each other on post membership.
No, that's what I said. Hey, like I said, GoFundMe. We're gonna do this right at the show. It's like put your names down and everything else like that. We'll start it. We'll do it on both channels. We'll make sure we get it out there.
Yeah, and here's another one, Hell Runners. 2 for 2, man. I've started dating. I just need to marry someone who collects 2, double the income for the same line. Sound good to me.
That won't double your income, brother.
No,
I'm not.
Trust me.
You will be losing income.
You have to date,
and then when she leaves, she takes your collection with you.
No, not you don't dating for multiple income household to fund your hobby. That's fine.
That's
but
not
she
work.
cannot be. Or he cannot be a collector too. So it's just...
I can see that divorce proceedings right there. It's like, well, what he gets? I get the Black Series. All of them.
Yeah. I mean, like no one watched our Gen Xers have been collecting Star Wars toys since the 70s. That lifelong behavior that is hard to break away from. This is why they raise the prices. Kids, these don't want action figures. See, I'm a perfect example of that too. Like I collected and I stopped for a while. And guess what I'm doing again? It's in that blood. It's in that DNA. It's something that we do now. But I'm also too at the point where a couple times, and Scott knows this, where I'm like, you know what? I'm ready just to dump it. Maybe not Star Wars, but like other things. I'm just ready to dump it and walk away. And because it's getting to the point where it's hard to keep up. It's hard to manage. It's just hard. And then, like you said, if they start raising again, even if it's $2 a figure, that's because it's not just a figure. You're talking 200 to 300 figures that sometimes in some people's collections. So, again, it's a healthy discussion to have, and it's something that we all have in our minds of how we sit into our rooms and what we do and what we so I just don't want it to impact people's freedom to do this. Like I said, we have the freedom to do this, we have the freedom to collect these things. So I'd hate to see people bowing out because of that. It's like it just became out of reach. You know what I mean? It's if it's a generational thing that dies with, that's one thing. But if it becomes so out of reach, just like the Haslabs, it becomes out of reach where it's like, well, I wish I had that. It just, again, first world problems. There's a lot more serious stuff going on. I get it, but at the same time, this is what we're doing, and this is our hobby. So yeah, I mean,
I think I know
Hell Runner.
Hell Runner's on fire tonight.
He said, so are you single? Hear me out. you just want me for my Pulse membership.
Oh my God. Real quick, just so we can in full disclosure here with the updates, we've got our checklists that we do. This one has been updated since last week. It's just insane. It's absolutely insane. The vintage collection, K2SO, Grand Admiral Thrawn, the Rocket Trooper, Mandalorian with the jetpack from Mando Season 3. We've got the brand new Bo-Katan, because you got to have that extra shoulder pauldron. Ahsoka the White, as well as Joe John Narwood or Narwhal or whatever the hell
something like that.
Skeleton Crew. He is out. The Armorer's Forge is out and in hand. The Moff Gideon's lair is out and in hand. The E-Wing fighter, as we saw. And the I can confirm that the Blurg and Mando, I saw him in Vegas this weekend in great numbers. So
cool.
all of that stuff is out, and we're poor. So there you go.
Yeah.
Those are and Chopper in disguise, an Imperial disguise.
Yeah, that came out
coming. I cannot wait.
Yeah, confirmed.
Yep, that is confirmed.
I mean, if all those were Black Series, it'd have been equally better, but
whatever.
For a couple dollars more, you can have all those in Black Series and have a better figure, way more detailed.
Wow.
And
whatevs, man, whatevs.
But one can dream, right? But the reality is, we'll never get those.
And you won't get a ghost. You won't get a ghost vehicle to go with.
Want to bet?
Darth Mooch is already.
You see this room?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm sitting in the ghost cockpit right now.
Yeah, wouldn't surprise me.
Basil G saying Hammerhead's not on that TVC pipeline. Yeah, I've been looking for that, and I haven't heard word that Hammerhead is going to be out in quite some time. So I'll keep looking.
No one watches Artie. He's been clean from the addiction for 18 years. Yeah, I lasted about 10 years without buying a figure. But again, but also, to be fair too, it was a time, because it was in between like 2008 to 2000. Well, actually, it was less than 10 years in. But in that market of 2008 to about 12 or 14, what was there? The Black Series was a thought. And I didn't start collecting Black Series right off the bat. It took a while because, again, I hated the sculpts. I saw them in the stores. I'm like, these are gross. And I put them back. Like Luke looked ugly, Layla, everything. I go, this is bad. And that's the reason why I didn't collect those. But I don't know what was out there for me. Like I said, I didn't feel like I missed much as far as buying. But I knew it was I kept my ear to the ground. I was always in the toy aisles. I still had the toy magazines, Not until they reinvented themselves again with, like I said, the vintage collection and the Black Series really took off. So, yeah.
This is interesting. Hal Runner right here. I'm curious how and if the tariff stuff is going to affect HasLab, like the Cantina that are already paid for.
Already paid for. Maybe I think they might have contracts in place. Like I think it's it'll be to a certain point, and I
would not want to be Hasbro and tell somebody you need to send us $50 more, because that is not going to work. That there will be orders canceled left and right. For
yeah.
That is not
very true. Yeah, no, I think it'll be
that's fine.
Yeah, it'll be like contractually already in place. So we shall see. Hopefully it's not as a big impact that we overall on everybody's pocketbooks in general, but it's still fun. We still want to collect. That's the thing. That's why we're concerned about it, because we want to collect.
It's an addiction, man. It's a strong addiction.
Well, what else are we gonna do every other Monday?
Like Chet said, chasing that plastic dragon.
Yeah, of course. And again, it's fun, right? Like it's fun to sit in your rooms. It's fun to talk about and text each other what we found out there. It's fun to speculate and talk about the business that we are not a part of, as far as like the actual creation of figures and what it takes. So we could sit here and justify in our own terms of what they need to do and what they can't or should, but at the end of the day, I think we're still buying it. Just like someone said in the chat, it's like they raise it, we're still gonna buy it, So, but there is a limit, I think. But it's good to talk openly about concerns or whatever. Like I said, did not want to make it any political issue. I just figured this is something that we might see in the foreseeable and how it's going to shape our collections and the way we talk and the way we spend money. That's all. It's innocent enough, right? So,
sure.
But I think we're done. I think we're done as far as anything new. We got our, like I said, Skeleton Crew, which is in a couple of weeks. You should have your figures in hand. They're available now. Vintage collection is going to start heating up as far as getting things in. At the Ghost, you're going to see an amazing review on the Ghost. I know that probably several reviews between.
But I plan on hitting it the day it comes out. The day it comes in, I'm going to record that, and then it'll probably be it'll drop that Saturday.
You're going to hit it. Is it going to be on Wicked.com?
It will be.
Yeah, yes, dude, John would. Yeah, no one will care then. I was like, cares. Very good, very good. Well, thank you guys. Thank you everybody in the pit. On the replay crew, get your comments in the section below too, because the conversation never ever stops. I think when we reconvene in a couple of weeks, we'll see what's going on. But we are going to pick and choose our best and worst of the year as far as
homework
figures. Yeah. So. What was the best figure that came out? What was the worst figure that came out in the season of 2024? So
interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Do we? Okay. How are we going to do this?
I think we'll just present it. I think we'll just present it and have everybody kind of give their opinions on it. And I have to go back and find out what was released this year, because
so much
as far as Star Wars, much, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, before we go into our outro for Starlight Digest, I want to give Alexander the floor because Shadow Nose Network is a thing. Link is in the description below. If you're not part of them, I know what you're doing.
Yeah,
Alex, it's all you.
Absolutely. Please show over there. There are GoFundMe pages for people's Hasbro postal memberships. Put that in every show.
I know how
start doing telethons for that kind of stuff.
Runner. Yeah.
So, like I said, again, it's like that's not just Labor Day weekend. We're going to start running that for. If you don't have a Hasbro Post membership, we're running telethon for you guys.
Yeah. We'll get everybody's orders up and distributed. Yeah.
This week, my friend, some great news. Wednesday on Toy Box Chronicles. If you are into 1/12 vehicles for the which is basically 6-inch line, so if you are, then we're going to have actually some creators on the show of the Bandino. If you haven't seen the Nerd Zork video or all over the place, it is a customizable lowrider kind of like hot rod car, and it's from Odd Frog Entertainment. We will have both we're supposed to have both creators, Eddie and Kelly, on. And that's going to be a hot show. We're going to give them the floor that night, and we're going to get people in, because 1/12 scale cars, you'll see the Robin Racer and then all the other Batman stuff in it. It's all coming out from McFarlane and everything else. So these are independent guys. They are from Southern California as well. So that is really kind of cool.
Nice.
So we're going to have an interesting discussion on that. Friday, you know as well as I do, it is Pixel, Plastic, and Ink. Anything that you want to talk about, whether it's films, comic books, or toys, that's the all-around show. It's got myself, Chet Maddox, Rad, and Dr. Brentley. So that's the flagship show on the network. And other than that, man, I'm watching you guys, or we may be joining you guys on the show like that.
Yeah, well, pretty soon we might do another crossing the streams again, coming to, again, speaking of year-end reviews. So there's only one way really to find out all this information, is to like and subscribe and hit that bell notification and get stay updated. Of course, all our socials too. But you guys, everybody who's stuck around this long, thank you so much. Happy Veterans Day to you guys. Everybody who has served and will serve, we appreciate you so much. Wednesday's show coming up in 2 days, Starlight Digest. It's going to be good. It's going to be real good. We have some real good discussion. There is some news that dropped that we actually have some insights on what the truth is. We have some insights on what's the hell is going on. Again, stay tuned. Join the conversation on Wednesday, 8 p.m. Pacific time. Sorry, East Coast. I know it's late, but the replay crew is always there. And again, we're always hovering in the comment section to get everybody's opinions in. So, I think we're done. Let's give
Tommy a shout out really quick for Blitz Transmissions.
Yes. My goodness.
Go check out Blitz Transmissions. Tommy there is killing it. He's doing all sorts of toy reviews. I don't know where this kid gets all of his information, but
hey, man,
got it. Good stuff. So go give Tommy a follow.
Yeah.
He is building up right now. I mean, he just did an interview with Daryl DePriest from Hasbro, or former Hasbro employee, I believe. Just fantastic.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic. Give him a follow, you know.
Yeah,
And
Tommy,
hopefully we'll get him in here next week.
Yeah, Tommy couldn't make it tonight due to work, but I mean, he sent us notes. So we are very honored to have him a part of the toy chest. Same thing with Alex, and we're building this team here every other Monday. So yeah, guys, here we go. Let's talk toys, and of course, Star Wars coming up. It's Star Wars, and there's everything else. Well,
that's right.
With that, Scott,
keep it nerdy, everybody.
This is Grand Admiral Thrawn. You are listening to the Sarlacc Digest. What a fascinating play on words.